So now we're going to start creating this default patch, the one that I base all of my other patches off. And the first thing we're going to set up is a patch for it. And the first thing we want is just a piano. So note that I changed the output of this to bus 1, keys 1, so it's not going directly to the output. And I've set it to the input to be the bottom keys. So I've just loaded a pre-saved channel strip. I'm not going to go through how I've created tweaks to my piano sound. But it's really useful to save the channel strips that way. If you're trying to build a new patch and you would think, oh, I just need to use the synth from that other one, it's very easy just to load them in. So I've also renamed it to keep it tidy, changed the color to blue to match all of my piano things. And I've changed the layer range to only go up to B5. I'll explain why I did that later. So now let's map some other parameters. So first up, let's set the kind of on-off button for this piano sound. So the easiest way to do that would be with layer bypass. So what that does is, if I turn it off, then I don't have any sound coming out. One of the downsides of using layer bypass is that if I turn it off and I press down the pedal and then turn it on and hit a note, because it was bypassed, it doesn't know that the pedal's on. So that can be really annoying if you're kind of in the middle of playing something and you're just kind of switching sounds. You want it to know that the pedal's down already, so you don't have to re-pedal. So for that and other reasons you'll see in a bit, I've created a scripter plugin called Disabler. And what this does is it has 2 disable buttons. That means that you can use it to switch between multiple sounds, as well as turning on and off globally. So similar to layer bypass, but the difference is this time if it's off and I put down the pedal and I turn it on, it knows that the pedal is down. So that can be very useful. So next we'll map the volume, just making sure that it goes to 0 rather than +6. And the reverb, so as I said before, I'm tending to use the reverb built into the plugin. And I can control the amount of reverb that I want using that knob. So this row of knobs I've labeled filter, but for a piano, unless it's a kind of EDM style song, you don't want to use an actual filter. So what I've got set up in this plugin is if I send CC1 to the plugin, then it will control the brightness and the softness of the piano. So this can be really useful because if you have a song, it might start with a soft piano. As the song gets going, that can get lost in the mix. So rather than having 2 separate pianos, a soft and a hard piano, you can just blend and make it brighter as the song gets bigger. And if necessary, I can go all the way up to kind of full brightness. So I find it really useful just to have that knob to be able to kind of ride that as the song goes. The other type of piano we want is an electric piano. So let's add another channel strip for that. So again, I've changed the layer range. I'll come back to that later. So again, we want to be able to turn it on and off with this button at the bottom. But we also want to switch between piano and EP. So what I'm going to do is use this second knob here, the button, to change between piano and EP. So this is where I use that second disable option in the scripter plugin. So I've set them up alternately. So I have piano here. If I turn it on, I have my EP. And if I turn all of the pianos off, it's all off. So I can now easily switch between piano and EP just with a button. So also I want to then set up the volume. But as you can see, when I loaded this into the channel strip, the volumes come in a bit lower. So what I'm going to do is put a gain on that channel to make it so that when volume is at 0, the EP matches the piano. Then I'm going to map the volume. So now as I switch between them, they're roughly the same volume, so I'm not going to get any shocks there.